Hi, Jamie. So excited to have the opportunity to chat with you a little bit today. I'm actually trying to remember when exactly you graduated, but you're kind of one of our older graduates. But yeah, just anxious to kind of explore your story a bit, leading up to Amplify, your time in Amplify, and then what are you up to now? So if you could just share a little bit to start us off, just about yourself, like maybe how you might be relatable to other people who are looking to do what you're doing.
Yeah. So I am a mom. I have three little kids, 5, 3, and 4 months. So extremely busy. My son just started kindergarten. Um, I was working full time and then kind of scaled back on that so I could stay home after my daughter was born. So I worked around my husband's schedule, so it was very crazy, but we still needed that income. And then I got found Amplify because I really just needed a different avenue to bring in money. So I do have my bachelor's degree, so I was working a professional job for a long time. Um, but obviously, as everyone knows, daycare is crazy expensive. So I wanted wanted to stay home, and when I became pregnant, I always knew I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. So I just needed to find that perfect alignment to come together where I could be home and work and bring in income while still being home with my kids. So I found Holly probably like last July,
Okay.
I believe, something around that time. It probably took me a good month or two to actually like rip off the band-aid and join. But it was just that opportunity that just kept presenting itself and coming up
Hmm.
and coming up. So I was like, this has to be something good because I mean, like online, you see all of these different, like, make money
Yeah.
from home, whatever. But something about Holly just stood out to me and just was very different than everything else. So I joined, and honestly, it was the best decision of my life so far. So,
Oh, I love hearing
um,
that.
yeah, it's been such a huge blessing for us. I'm making more money now than I ever made, even in my professional career. So, it has been the biggest blessing, and I'm able to be home with my kids every day.
Well, first of all, congratulations, because that just has to feel incredible, like
Yes.
accomplishing what you set out to do, and
Yeah.
then maybe, and then some, right? And what
Mhm.
that can do for your family. So, okay, walk me back a little bit here. You said you had three kids. What are the ages
Yes.
again?
My son is 5. I have
Okay,
a
sure.
3-year-old daughter, and then my youngest is 4 months old.
4 months old. Okay. All right. So you were, yeah, you were juggling a lot when you were in
Yeah.
Amplify. And you said you
Yeah.
were working at the same time. What was it that you were
Yes.
doing?
So I was working two part-time jobs. I was actually waitressing
Okay.
nights and weekends, and then I was working in a like fulfillment center for Amazon actually. So overnight hours. So I would go in at like 10 p.m. and get home at 7 a.m. and then I would be a mom all day long. So very little sleep. I was running on fumes. I look back and I'm like, oh my God, how did I do that? But I mean, you just make it work. So, but it was terrible. So now I'm like actually getting decent sleep and being able to show up and be a mom every day. So,
Yeah, you're
um,
probably like on a schedule that matches
yeah,
your family now instead of
yeah,
like
yes, for sure.
graveyard shift and then okay, now I got to be on for my kids. Wow,
Yeah,
I can't even imagine that. Like truly, I remember always being so impressed by you, but I think that that's something that's so I'm not a mom, but I really commend moms where it's like you just gotta find a way to do it because
yeah,
this is what needs to
you do.
happen. So,
Right, exactly.
I mean, I guess okay, I'm gonna jump into this in a moment though, because
Yeah.
I do want to know. I think oftentimes when people are considering joining Amplify or any kind of, training, coaching, it is like, especially for moms, like how do I
Mhm.
make this work and how do I juggle all of this? But I guess I would. You kind of spoke to this a little bit, but was there like a moment that you were like, okay, something's got to give, something needs to change. You said it kind of took a month too, right, for you to rip off the band-aid. So what was it that you were just like, okay, it's time. I need to go all in on myself and do this.
I think I was just so tired and um I was probably like had really short patience with my kids one day or something, and I'm just like, I can't keep working these shifts and continue to be a mom, but like I had to work financially for our family. Um, and I think I was just like, I knew I could do it if I signed up for it. Like I knew if I put like 100% in, it was going to work out like in one way or another. So, um, I just like brought it to my husband and I was like, what do you think about this? Like, I know it's kind of like not the conventional way to go about work, but like
Mhm.
just got his thoughts and he's like, honestly, you should just do it. And so I was like, okay. It's like, we're gonna do it. I was like, I was scared obviously, and I was like, I hope I can make this work. I was like, I like know myself and I knew it, just trusted that it would work and it did. So
Yeah, I can
yeah.
definitely, I get that sense from you, especially just the situation you were in. Like you were
Mhm.
obviously making that work. So it's like, what could
Yeah.
be worse, right? Like
Right.
this is
Yeah.
already kind of like not a situation that's working for me. So what is it to try
Yeah.
something else?
Right.
Awesome. Awesome. So I guess like once you did decide to go all in, then how was your journey inside of Amplify as far as like, coaching, training, the community, anything that you'd like
Yeah.
to share about that?
Yeah, Amplify was amazing. The community aspect is such a huge part of it. I actually am still in contact with some of the girls who were in it at the same time as me. So that has been amazing. Just sharing struggles or having questions, like always having someone there to kind of lean on. Um, the coaching calls were so insightful and helpful, and the feedback was very, very helpful. I know sometimes like you go to school, right? And you're told you're doing it wrong, but you're not like sure the right direction to go. So I feel
Mhm.
like in Amplify it was very laid out in a way where you knew where you had to go or you knew exactly what where you needed to pivot in your conversations or your learning to get you on the right path. So that was extremely helpful.
Good. I know that I think is like the trickiest bit for some people too, is especially as
Mhm.
adults, once you've had a career and you're shifting and it's like, now you have to be new again and receive
Yeah.
feedback. And I think that that's like a little intimidating, but the
Yeah.
ones like you who are truly like receptive to it and you're like, please
Mhm.
tell me all of the things so that I can just like
Yeah.
dial this in and,
Mhm.
you know, refine these skills as best as I can to go into that space. And I know that you definitely had that
Yeah.
attitude going into it. So clearly that
Yeah.
led to your success there. And the community too, I love that. I mean, obviously, like the focus is making sure that the training is top notch for our
Mhm.
women, but I think that the community has been the most beautiful byproduct of it because so many people that I talk to, it's like, oh yeah, some of my closest friends, and like you said, I think being in this space, it's a little bit like an extraordinary world too, and like having other people who understand and can relate and like help you, ask questions, problem solve, whatever's coming your way in this space, I know is really valuable. So I love to hear that you're still in touch
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah. I love it.
Okay, so I guess if you could help us peek into a little bit, like, so how did you juggle all of this with like your night shifts and being a mom? Like, how did you make this work in Amplify?
Yeah, Holly preaches block schedules, and honestly, block scheduling changed my life. I use it to this day, every single day in my life. Um, and that was one thing I didn't even really know before or have any insight onto. So implementing that into my daily life, it's just like you have your 1 hour block, you have XYZ to get done, and then you move on to the next hour. And you literally, I just take it. Some days it's truly like half hour by half hour. I'm taking my days to be able to juggle it all. And especially with my son starting school, that added another little block in there that I had to fit in there for drop off and pick up. So um, yeah, honestly, I just take it day by day, and that's how you do it most days, juggling 3 kids and working full time and
Yeah.
whatever else needs to get done. So
Yeah, just kind of giving yourself a little bit of grace that the day
yeah,
may not look the way that you had
yeah,
planned for, but yeah, having that like really focused, intentional time of like, okay, this is what we've got to do. Because
yes,
it is like if you keep track of how you spend your time, we do
hmm
waste quite a bit of time. Even like,
oh yeah,
as busy people, it's like, oh
hmm
wow, I just like sat here scrolling for 30 minutes when I could have
right,
been knocking out a couple trainings or
yeah,
reaching out to 20 people in the DMs or
hmm
whatever. So
yeah,
awesome. I'm glad that that system worked for you.
yeah.
Um, Okay, so tell me more about what you're doing now. Like what position or positions do you have? Kind of how's that going for you? What does that look like?
Yeah, so I am a DM setter. Um, I started in probably March with this company and have been with them since. They were very new in the space with hiring setters and closers. So I have honestly kind of grown with the company so far. My role has kind of changed a couple times since then.
Hmm.
So I started setting, we did triage calls for a while, so I handled that. I haven't done any closing calls for them yet, but in the future, at some point when my schedule isn't so tied down with little kids,
Littles.
then I will move into that. Yeah. But like right now, setting because I can just be on my phone has been like the perfect avenue for me. Um, just because I can literally do it anywhere, anytime.
Mhm.
So I have, yeah, just been setting for the majority of the time since March.
Awesome. And what kind of like what's the offer? What kind of
Oh,
business?
sorry. I work for a health and wellness coach. So she teaches women like sustainable methods through nutrition and workouts to lose weight and maintain weight loss and gain strength, whatever it may be. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
And is that like a niche that you wanted to go into, or is it just like this looks like a good opportunity and how's that?
Yeah, so she's a mom herself,
Okay.
and I've always been bigger into like the health and wellness space. So it honestly worked out really well. Her and her husband run the company together, and from our first call, like we just kind of meshed, and they're really, really great people and treat me very well. So um, I'm super blessed that I found the opportunity, and I actually found the opportunity from Alexa, the other girl
Yeah.
in
I just
Amplify.
interviewed
So
recently. Yeah.
super great. Yes. So super
Mhm.
grateful for Alexa for sending that one to me. So that's a big thing with Amplify too, just finding those connections
Mhm.
because someone is going to know of a placement or hear of something that you may not have found otherwise too. So
Yeah, I see more and more
yeah,
of that posted in our Discord community where it's just like, hey,
yeah,
I didn't take this role, but this company's looking, or I'm
yep,
working for a business who's looking to hire. Here you
yep,
go. So that's awesome
mhm,
that you got that
yeah,
connection through her. And I love that, every business is a little bit different, but I love that you kind of got on the ground floor with a smaller
yeah,
business. And
mhm,
I don't know, sometimes I think that's easier to grow with a business. So that's neat that
yeah,
you've had that opportunity.
yeah.
So I guess like I know you said every day can kind of look a little bit different, but
Mhm.
like typically, what does your day kind of look like? What are your blocks? How do those function?
Yeah, so typically, first thing in the morning, I'll go into the DMs and just catch up on messages. Um, I know different placements have like different outreaches and stuff they need to do, but my specific placement has a virtual assistant who does like outreaches and stuff. So my main job really is just to respond to messaging that comes through. So that's really nice because it's not a ton of downtime where I have to sit at my computer and like do outreach. So um, literally just replying right away and responding within like 30 minutes to an hour anytime a message comes in throughout my entire day. So I have daily like setter calls once a day. Um, Sometimes I will hop on a training or a setting training that my coach has paid for that I work for. Um, so yeah, it's different every day, but most of the time I literally just have to answer messages as they come in throughout the day.
Okay,
So and book calls that way.
awesome. So you could probably
Yeah.
be pretty mobile then too, and doing things with your kids and
Oh
just
yeah. Yeah. We still go to the library. We still go to the splash pad in the summer. Like, so yeah, we're still doing all the things. Like I can take my meetings wherever I am. So, um, the coach I work for is a mom as well, so she understands. And half the times my kids are in my Zoom calls with me when I'm on a meeting. So, yeah, it's been a huge blessing. So,
awesome. I'm so grateful that you found a good fit. Like
yeah,
truly, I think just like culture and understanding who you are and where you're at in life, and just being able to have the flexibility to be in the day to day with your kids.
yeah,
So, one type of question that we get quite a bit, if you're comfortable sharing, is
yeah.
just around income and what one can kind of expect in the space. So, if you
Mhm.
could maybe just share a little bit, even if it's just kind of ballpark figure, kind of what you're earning, maybe even like what you ramped up to as well, and
Yeah.
that piecing to help people
Mhm.
kind of see what's possible.
Yeah. So obviously it differs every month. I do have a base rate that I get paid regardless of how many calls I book. So for my base pay, I get 750 a month. And then based on the amount of calls that get closed, I get a certain percentage of that. So I would say like my lowest month has been probably around like 3,000. Highest month so far, I want to say like maybe 6,200.
Congrats.
So yeah,
Awesome.
it's yeah, it's normally it's somewhere in between there most months.
Great.
It does differ obviously depending on the month, but since March, yeah, that has
Great.
been for sure.
Awesome. So, and then if you don't mind me asking, what has that done for you and your family, being able to one, have that flexibility, and then two, the increase in your income?
Yeah, it's been I mean honestly life changing. Like I can go to the grocery store and go to Costco and not like really worry about what groceries cost because everyone knows they're expensive these days. We can book a weekend trip to the water park with the kids. We've paid off some debt so far that we had from when I was staying home and like breaking my back working, trying to just make ends meet. So honestly, it's like such a breath of fresh air to just not like I don't want to say we're not living paycheck to paycheck but to be able to like have a little room and put money in savings and not be so stressed all the time about can we pay the mortgage this month? Can we pay our car payment this month? Or do I have to pick up an extra shift to pay this? So it's been very, um, I don't know, life changing is the only word that comes to my mind because
Yeah, no, it's
I wouldn't be able to make this income doing anything else while staying home. So
yeah, and it's
it's
you
been great.
seem a lot lighter, I think, than when you
Yeah.
were in the program, and also just I don't know, probably being able to show up the way you want to for your kids too. Like they
Oh,
get
100%.
the best version of you because you're like, I'm not stressed and I get to sleep and
Yeah.
I'm on it with you. That's great. That's really
Yeah.
great. So, okay, one last question for you. What would you say to someone who is thinking about getting started, as a DM setter, SDR, or even thinking about joining Amplify Academy specifically? Do you have any advice, words of wisdom for them?
Yeah, I would say go for it. I was like, you have honestly nothing to lose. If you put everything into it, you'll get that back and more. So, um, I wish I would have joined the first month that I had found Amplify because then it just put me another month ahead. So, obviously, change and new things can be scary. And in this world of online, there's so many unknowns. But honestly, like if you want to make a good income from home, this is absolutely the way to do it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jamie. Well, it's really been a pleasure catching up with you,
Yes.
just hearing what you've made possible for your family, and I hope to connect with you again soon in the future, and hear how things are going for you then.
Awesome. Thank you so much.